You are watching Melody Lane. With me, you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Well, hello there, crafty friends. It's Hallie with Melody Lane Inspired, and it's a new year. So since it's a new year, I thought we would make one of these awesomely, very popular perpetual calendars. So it's going to work where we're going to have the dials inside of our Cricut C here, and we're going to spin it for the date. Which is great, because as you craft in your craft room, you lose track of the days very easily, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give you the tutorial on how to put this together. And this amazing project was made to us by the amazing, the fabulous, the fantastic Louise Beauregard. So thank you, Louise, for this. This will also be a project that is in our supporter files at patreon.com/melodylane. If you don't follow Louise Beauregard on Design Space, here is Louise's name here. Please go follow her. I call her the paper magician. She is like Houdini when it comes to this, and she always shares her amazing, amazing projects. So definitely give her a follow. So what we're going to do here is I've cut everything out of Cricut Kraftboard and cardstock. Mine is here. I have a little vinyl that I will add for a little touch. But for my big C here, for each layer, I have used Kraftboard. I have 2 layers of the black Kraftboard. And then I use the foil Kraftboard here just to give it a little shine and some bling. And then this is Cricut cardstock. This is the green that is in their Jewels color package. So what I want to first do is glue my different pieces together here. So I have 3 of the exact same size pieces. It's 2 layers of Kraftboard and the first layer is cardstock. So we're just going to glue these together, and we're going to do the same for each size. Now we're going to think of this as a track, and within the track, this is going to sit, and we're going to turn these. So each one of these pieces is just 1 piece of Kraftboard, and then 1 piece of cardstock. And we let the machine go ahead and write on it for us, which is always amazing. I used the black marker here. So we're going to go ahead and glue these pieces together first, and then we'll go ahead and work on assembling it all. So we put a thin line of glue down, and then we're just going to go ahead and attach the top layer. I just like to move it around that way. I make sure I push it down all the way around. And you really want that glue to dry too, if there's any glue oozing out, because you don't want it to get stuck to the track. And I just used regular Cricut cardstock, but you could use shiver cardstock or pearl. That would be beautiful. Now we're going to take our tracks here. And remember, for each of these, there is 3 layers. So 2 Kraftboard, and then the top layer is going to be your cardstock. Which, if you get it messed up, if you're using Cricut cardstock, it's easy to tell because the Cricut cardstock has a pattern, like a texture to it. Kind of like a waffle, a little waffle pattern. Now, because I'm worried about getting ooze on this with that nozzle, I'm going to go ahead and use my 2-way zig, just because you just kind of paint it on and there's no ooze. You just want to make sure you match up your ends here, and then go ahead and go around and squeeze them again. And we're just going to repeat that same thing for each part of the track. So 2 layers of Kraftboard and 1 layer of cardstock. Making a perpetual calendar. So you spin the dial like in it. It's a Cricut.
Oh.
Oh.
So fun, Lucy.
It is. That was my daughter Ducky just coming in to see what I'm making. Whatever she brought upstairs, she just dropped. And then, boom, just like that, we have all of our layers glued together. Now we're going to take our back layer, which you will know it's the back piece because it doesn't have the squares cut out here like it does here. So we're going to take this black piece, and we're going to start by gluing down the first outer layer of the track, which is going to be your biggest piece. Now Now for the glue for this part, you either want to use a glue that's not going to seep out like the one I used here, or you just want to make sure if it does seep out, you just give it enough time to dry, because it is a track, so the wheels are going to want to, you don't want to put the wheels on the inside and they stick to the glue. It's not going to be very perpetual if you do that. You're not going to be able to turn it. So now that we have our outside ring in, we can go ahead and place it. Now this piece we're not going to glue in because we're going to turn this, but we just want to get it laid out. Make sure you don't have any wet glue seeping out at this point, because if you do, then it's going to hold onto this. And then we can figure out where our next piece of this goes, which is going to go right in there like that. You want to make sure it doesn't overlap at all, because if it does overlap, you're not going to be able to turn it. And make sure that once you get that piece in, you want to make sure that this is free and you can go ahead and move this. Which it is, so that's great. I'm just going to move that out of the way for now. And we can lay our next piece in here so we can see where the next layer goes. I will also put the links for these, the Zig two-way glue, because I do like to use these in times where I don't want any ooze. It's almost like a paint stick. It's a liquid that comes out. That can fit in there, and it can. And then we have our final dial in here. Make sure that that fits in there, which it does. And then we will go ahead and glue the final one into place. Now we have all of the layers of the track glued in. That looks really neat, just like that too, doesn't it? I love stripes, so that looks really cool. And then make sure these are glued all the way before you put your rings in, because you just don't want them to attach to the glue. You can turn what you can. So just go ahead and place each layer of the calendar. Just make sure once you put it in that you are able to spin it like that. So you can see why you wanted the one layer, I think a Kraftboard thicker, because otherwise it would be the same thickness, and this gives a little bit of a track to go in. There we go. So now this is the part you want to be very careful with the glue, because we want to glue this on. We want to glue it to the part without the writing, each ring, but you don't want to get it on the writing, because if you do, that front piece is going to stick to it. I'm just checking right now to make sure I can still spin these. I can spin this one. Which looks like it can. Okay, we can spin them all, so we're going to go ahead and put this one on top here. And at this point, I suggest go ahead and go in and rotate these all the way around, because there might be a little part of it that's stuck. That way, if it is stuck somewhere, you can go ahead and unstick it before it becomes glued all the way. And there we go. Now they're all rotating nicely, so yay! That's a big step. You want to make sure you don't glue them down. Alright, so next we're going to take our foil Kraftboard, and then we're going to go ahead and put that on top. I'm going to go ahead and put a little glue on these the back antennas, because those weren't glued down to the other piece of Kraftboard. So as I do this, I'm just going to go ahead and add some glue there. Won't take much just to attach it. And we have that layer finished. So now we're going to go ahead and glue the green on, and the glue's going to go, the green's going to go right here, right in the middle. If you line it up with the square here, then that's going to help you get it in place to where it needs to be. And go ahead and just tap, tap, tap it down. A little tap, tap, tap. And whenever you use glue, I'd say just go ahead and make sure you can still move your wheels, because you don't want glue getting on those tracks. And they are all still moving good, so yay! Okay, now we have these little pieces here, and what these are going to be is they are going to be the little border for the box. So we're going to put one around each of those. There we go. Now we have that around each one of those. Now I went ahead and cut. Louisa said start creating here, but you know I always love to say happy crafting, so I just changed mine to happy crafting. So I'm just going to go ahead and weed this and then put this on some transfer tape to go ahead and put on my cardstock. Well, actually I'm putting it on Kraftboard here. Okay, now we have this here, but we just need to get out the little pieces inside, like the A and the P. So I noticed I accidentally didn't have the top of my eye, but that's okay because I just took the center of my G and placed it for the top of my eye. I'm just going to cut a piece of my transfer tape. You want to use regular, you don't want to use a strong grip transfer tape. There we go. Now, since I'm going to be applying this to Kraftboard, anytime I apply it to Kraftboard or cardstock, I like to de-sticky my transfer tape just a little because you don't want any of the cardstock or Kraftboard to come up. So I can do that just by, I just stick it on my shirt and peel it off. And that is literally all I need to de-sticky it. So we're going to go ahead and place this over this. And I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to I like to take my scraper and go across it. So there we have our transfer tape on there, and little letters do have the hardest time sticking. So when I do this, I'm just going to do it slowly, peel it back, and make sure that my letters are stuck. That way if I need to go over it again, I can. And it helps to really bend it back as straight back as you can. It's going to help it stick. I see that P is not sticking, so I just hit it down, and there we go. Now we have it on here, so we're just going to go ahead and lay this where we want on here. And I think that looks good, so I'm just going to go ahead and... And there we go! Now it says Happy Crafting! How cute! And then make sure we can still spin these, which we can. So now we've finished making the calendar, so we're just going to go ahead and complete the easel. Okay, so this is our easel here. So for this, we're just going to fold both of these in. There's going to be 2 lines. There we go. And once we fold those in, then all we have to do is fold this piece down. It does have a slit in each side, so that's going to go on the side there, and we're just going to push it down just like that. So there we go. Now we've completed the easel. And then we're going to turn the calendar over, and we're just going to glue this to the back just like this. Straight. To get it on there how you like, just go ahead and make sure you press down. And then we can now stand it up. So we'll stand up like that, and then you can go ahead and set the date. So let's set it for today. And when you're trying to turn it, just make sure you're not pressing down on what you're trying to turn. I was just doing that, and it's because it's not going to turn well. But today is the 4th. January 4th, and today is Thursday. So there we go. We have our Cricut Perpetual calendar designed by the fabulously talented Louise Beauregard. She was so gracious to make this for our Melody Lane Patreon supporters. So all of our supporters at patreon.com/melodylane, starting at just $2 a month, they get access to this, plus over 1,000 ready-to-make projects. But not only that, we also have our 24/7 Crafting Zoom, which is a fabulous place where crafters from all over the world come and craft and make friends, and we do different events in there and hangouts. We do murder mysteries. We're going to have a meetup this year in Columbus, Ohio, which I'm so excited for. We had a great New Year's bash in there where they celebrated every hour of New Year, so everybody's New Year's was celebrated. It's just really a great positive place to be with positive people. And if you get stuck in there working on a project, ask, because there's a lot of handy dandy Cricut people in there that love to help. So thank you again, Louise, for this wonderful file. Isn't this so great to put on your desk or your craft area? And we'll be live on YouTube every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Friday we start our weekend and we look at new image sets because new image sets come out on Cricut, and we look at different projects and go over and chat with our crafty friends and see those. And then on Saturday, Alex is going to craft live in Design Space, so he's going to create a project and show you how to make it. And then on Tuesdays, that project will get put together on live. Fridays we're live at 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturdays will be 11 a.m. Eastern, and then on Tuesdays will be 8 p.m. Eastern. So we hope you guys join us there. Hope you learned something today. Oh, and don't forget to enter our giveaway. This month we're having fun. So as a family, when we're together, we all like to play games. So I thought, let's play a game for our giveaway this month. So we're doing a whodunit. So just go over to Cricut Design Space and you will find it pinned in the featured, but it's a whodunit, so think clue. So you got to choose who did it out of our Melody Lane team, what Cricut tool did they use, and in what room did they do it. So we're just putting a fun spin on that, and somebody's going to win $100 to spend at Cricut.com. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We always appreciate it. If you give us the like, the thumbs up, and the subscribe, go ahead and hit that notification bell and you will get an alert whenever we have new videos come out for any updates, new projects, new products, and then those wonderful mystery boxes, which we get so excited for because I always love to see new cuties. So until next time, guys, happy crafting, everyone, and Happy New Year. Let's have a craftastic 2024. I can't wait to see all of our new Cricut friends and wait to see what we all create in 2024. What are the big new projects going to be? There's always some new ones that come out, and that's exciting. So until next time, guys, bye and happy crafting.
I want to say thank you for all of the admins and the supporters. We really do appreciate all of you very, very much. And all the support and everything allows us to do cool things like this, hanging out with the admins and the supporters, like these guys back here. Hi, wave. There you go. I know my mom is with us and enjoying this with us. So thank you guys again. Toodles.